here in Tampa at Raymond James Stadium. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out. Their guys are ready to do battle between the Atlanta Falcons and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
On the set.
Check 45 to mine. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
On 1st and 10, Costello. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A big play there. Touchdown number 22 on the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Not a bad way to start it.
And I think that was part of their script, because so many teams script their opening possessions, and whether it's just that possession or even deeper into the half, sometimes it's 15 to 30 plays. That had to be one in there where they call a shot play. Go for the big one, and they got it done.
This one fielded at the 5. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
Set, ready? 10 logo.
Exit, exit.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Vita Vea in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
He'll drop to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Check 3, check 3, check 3. Shift.
Hey, Sam on. Ready?
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Set. 30 base.
Check.
Recon, 132 fighter.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a 1st down. Threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary. Incomplete pass. When are these quarterbacks going to learn? You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Vita Vea, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing. Because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Just enough to get the first down there with a 1-yard pickup.
Well, when we go back to our conversation with the defensive coordinator, that type of a play was not a surprise to him. He expected trickery in this game, yet somehow his defense, they still took the cheese and got caught in the mousetrap.
Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Let's go. 8, read.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D.
2nd and 13. Steps away to his left. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Well, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first. This quarterback now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. Here's a ball thrown right side and complete. 20, 10, touchdown, Tampa Bay. A big play there with touchdown number 23 here on the year as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. A About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first two drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully.
He's got a man complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 48 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. Second quarter now, Falcon football, as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. 2nd and 10. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Vernon Hargraves with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we?
And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2. Taco Charlton in there to get him. And that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Jones, and an alley to run. And from the 4, they get it to the 8 on a pickup of 4.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later. Well, competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Taken in at the 22. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but hold on, let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Freeman again, a first down carry. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Alert 3, alert 3, alert 3.
61, matchbox lights.
2nd and 5. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on. How about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build on. That's what they're looking for here. And the head coach reaches for the red flag, tosses it down on the field. He wants a challenge here.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Here we go. 8 read.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate... Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. A big play there with another touchdown, number 24 on the year, as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Vita Vea make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12.
Right here, 41 Mike. You ain't got nothing.
You any weapon.
And now he'll tuck it and run. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Last stop.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll look to throw here. He'll let it go deep for Freeman. 2nd quarter action with 1:59 remaining. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And this offense is going to be set up with a 1st and 10 inside the 15. Now a draw play. This is Jones. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
45 to Mike. Check. Shoot.
Big trip.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Costello, the quick slant caught. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Chris Godwin, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe hit him on those short passes on the...
Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Vita Vea in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
They'll drop the throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Ready? 10-2 stop.
It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long
Hit it.
The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. The throw on the quick slant going to be complete. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. They'll go again to Jones. It looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves them with 7 yards to go on 3rd down. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
That one goes for 8 yards. Now Jones. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, it's Hill. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Big stop, let's go.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. And Gay knocks this one through. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9 now. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Hey, Delta.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of... And look at this. It's a fake. And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool this defense. And the Bucs are going to take over with excellent field position to boot. They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Again, it's Jones. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Back to throw. Costello under pressure, and he will go down. Sack back at the 38. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And he will find his man on the outside. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. They're going to look to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 38. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. This is Jones. And he's got room. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Ronald Jones. Touchdown number 18 on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. And my goodness, another interception. It's Devin White, the linebacker. And he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick six for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick six in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. I'll tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Ready, break.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
On the draw, this will be Freeman. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. They'll set up to throw. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. 5 yards on the screen, but that'll take us to fourth down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
It'll be just an 18-yard punt, and the Buccaneer offense will be set up well as they take over.
Break.
45, Mike, 45. All day, all day.
Get it.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And they will finally get him down, but not before he takes this to the Falcons' 11.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it with Jones. And he's brought down. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last two plays. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
They'll try and get it in with Sherman, the fullback. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Anthony Sherman, his first touchdown on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Go.
Now back to throw. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They run. Devontae Freeman. And, boy, this defense, again, really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. Another incompletion. It's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Another wayward pass. Things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden us.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And it's complete. They're going to get the 1st. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. It would have been a long field goal. The fake doesn't work out. And the Buccaneers defense holds, and they get the football back.
The pass on the fake field goal. Turnover on down.
Partner, they're less than 2 minutes to go in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellows in New York.
And if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, New York. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going
Exactly.
forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal.
And now here is another interception. Picked off near the 44.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they